but he can use it to build you up. He didn't make that man walk out and treat you bad and beat you up and leave you with a black eye and a broken leg, but he can use it to build you up. But you do have to listen. Sister told me once, I worked with her, and she came to work one day, and I guess that's what made me think about that. And she actually did. She had big, she was a high yellow woman. For all you that are yellow, you know what I'm talking about. And she had this big bruise on her shoulder, right? Arm was in a sling, black eye, and walking on a crutch with a cast on the leg. And because she had been taking counsel from me about her relationship, she didn't want to talk to me. She didn't want to face me. And she actually sat right across from me. So, I was bound to see. So I didn't have to really ask her what was wrong. Bing, it went on. You had a bad weekend with that guy that you really know you shouldn't be with. You ever heard that phrase, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me?
Amen. Mama said it all the time.
And it wasn't her first time to get jumped on. But from the first time I told her, it's not going to get better, it's going to get worse. Because there's this innate thing in people when they feel like you're not listening. If I'm talking to you right now and I said, well, Elder Maddox, I don't want you to sit the Bible in your lap. I want you to raise it in the air. And then I turn around and do something, and turn back around, and you still got it. Now, I'm not going to say it the same way because you didn't hear me the first time. Or if you did, you didn't care to obey what I said. So that gives me a personal inclination to do what? Up the ante of my authority over you. Elder Maddox, didn't I tell you I want you to take the Bible out your lap and sit it on the chair? Now I'm going to turn it around again. Right? And if that didn't bother her, now I got to move closer. Elder Maddox, didn't I tell you to take that Bible and that flippity blockity blue and put it in the chair? I'm not saying it no more. Now we got to get physical. It's close to that physicality. You follow me? Because she's not paying me any attention. And what is innate in all of us humans to what? Be heard. We don't like for people to ignore us. It is an insensitive kind of thing for anybody to pretend that we don't exist, that we are not there, that our voices mean nothing, our authority is null and void, and we must by all means be heard. So now when she don't do it this time, now not only am I stuck, I'm shouting, I promise you, if you don't. Are you following me? But that was something that sister didn't get. She didn't understand that. First when he started fussing at her, then he started cussing at her, and then getting all in her face and pushing her down. Like, sweetheart, you're getting ready for the worst beating of your life, and you just best hope that it doesn't lead to your death. Because he's demanding that you obey him, that his voice be heard. Now see, that's a problem with him. Are you following me? He had a problem. But there is, and in most of us, we have learned that there is an act of reciprocity. You give and you take. It's a process of giving and taking. But some people don't know anything but about, giving. They just want you to do all this. You ever had one of those relationships where you're the person doing either all the giving or all the taking? Taking all the mess, giving all of yourself. You're just so devoted. But John just loves me so much. He didn't mean it. Seriously? Because he woke up the next morning on a guilt trip and said, sweetheart, I love you. I didn't mean that. Your eye all swollen and black. Now he's going to try to tell you he loved you. Why didn't he love you last night?
Amen.
Before he swung his fist. Are you following me? Storms do come, but there are consequences to the things you endure from your storm. There are actions and reactions, causes and effects. And be reminded that God doesn't orchestrate it all. He can use it. He doesn't orchestrate all of it. He allows the enemy to come in sometimes, and he knows exactly what the enemy is going to do. And at other times, he just allows you to have, that whole autonomy of your life. He says, hey, you get to choose. I'm not going to force you to accept my will. You do get to choose. Yes. I'm not going to make you take my path. You do what? Get to choose. So storms create opportunity for you to renew your gifts and dreams. When the storm does the cleansing process, it allows a clean slate, a new thing. See, sometimes you've been thinking that all of that stuff I had in me, now it's just all gone because now I got all this stuff. I've gone. My life has taken a different turn. I went down this road or that road, and now this is all I got left. Is that true? No, because sometimes those storms come and wipe all that stuff away just so that you will have what? A new slate. To give you a new opportunity. And see, that's what I'm always trying to get people to think about. Don't focus on the things that failed you or the things that hurt you. Focus on your future, because when the storm comes and wipes out everything on your life, there's a reason for that. And if you're a child of God, it's not a bad reason. It's a good reason. It's a chance for renewal. It's a chance to allow yourself to regain footing. It's a chance for you to set up those gifts that God gave you and start using them. It's a chance for you to go back to the dreams that you had when you were a child. See, some of us, we thought it was unreal. We were dreaming, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be a lawyer, I'm going to be an Indian chief. I don't know about that one. But anyway, you were dreaming big. And somewhere in the process of life, you start doubting yourself. That's never going to happen. I don't want to go to school that long. I don't want to do this. Nobody was encouraging you. Nobody was showing you any pathway to the possibility. Nobody was giving you the outs about how you could. And so you just ended up drifting into a path that God never really intended. Then all of a sudden, the storm comes. And all of that stuff you picked up on the wrong path. Come on, tell your neighbor you've been on the wrong path. On the wrong path. And all that stuff you picked up on the wrong path, God allows it to all be wiped away. And you've been crying about it. And you've been hurt about it because it's all you know. I get it. It's all you had. I get it. But what God is trying to get you to see is take a look at the lay of the land. We got a new opportunity. There are new possibilities now. Now I need you to really look to me. Yes, I allowed the storm to come, but I allowed the storm to come so that you can get greater. Are you following me? See, I need you to testify for me. And with all of that stuff you had that you were so proud of, I couldn't use it as my testimony. I didn't do it. I didn't have anything to do with it. So I allowed that storm to come. Oh, I didn't take it from you either. I just didn't start the storm. Are you following me? But now I have an opportunity to get you to see who I am. Turn to your neighbor and tell him God is in my ship.
God is in my ship.
And when you know God is in your ship, don't fear. Know that everything is going to be all right. The storm came for a reason. The storm set you up to be perfected. The storm set you up for greater possibilities. The storm set you up to meet your destiny. The storm set you up for your future. The storm set you up that God might use you. The storm set you up to testify to others for Him. The storm set you up.
Jesus, hallelujah.
Storms allow you to grow. All that stuff you had on the ground was choking out your godly gifts. All that stuff you had was just choking. Sometimes you got people in your life, they just choking everything God wants to birth in you. You got to look around and make sure that everybody you're dealing with have God at the center of their life. Because if not, I promise you, they'll be choking out your God-given gifts. The heights and goals that God wants you to reach, you're never going to make it because you're hanging around deadbeats. They might not be dads, but they're deadbeats. And when you're hanging around deadbeats, God is blinded. Or should I say, you are blinded from God. You really can't see God the way you can. Why? Because every time you talk to these people, they saying stuff about everything and anything else. You ain't talking about no Jesus. They don't have God clear. You follow me? Storms allow you to grow in faith, ability, and in your testimony. Storms forces each of us to face life's immutability without partiality, rids us of self-declarations of impossibilities. Sometimes God wants us to climb that mountain. He wants us to get on top of Kilimanjaro. Are you following me? They say that's the tallest mountain on earth, right?
Everest.
Everest. So here it is. God wants you to climb Mount Everest. And you're sitting up there. I can't do that. All that last man that tried that, you read about him, and that's the first thing somebody's going to tell you. Did you read about that last man that tried? They ain't found him yet. Somebody's always going to try to tell you about what's impossible in God. Child, you better not do that. Well, and then you got the little wise bad counsel. Well, I can't tell you what to do, sweetheart. But now let me just tell it to you like this. Now, my son Billy, he didn't try to climb no mountain nowhere near tall as Kilimanjaro or Everest. But he was out there in the Rockies. And child, he got 900 feet high and he fell. Broke every bone in his body. Now you just go ahead on now, be reminded now that Everest is 2-3 times taller than that Rocky Mountain. But now you make your own decision and I support you. Are you following me? They're going to try to get that back door in and say, God, you're a fool if you do it. At some point, you just have to believe God. At some point, you have to trust Jesus in your ship. That he will calm your sea. That he will make things work out. Amen?
Amen.
Do you have what it takes to succeed after the storm? Absolutely.
Amen.
You're God's child. And with God, that's all you need. And with God comes 2-3 other things. One is faith. The other is patience. Why? Sometimes we see and we desire and we want, but we don't have the patience for God to bring it to pass. After the storm, a seed is planted. Are you following me? And the new seed that is planted, sometimes it's not a new seed, sometimes it's just a seed that you put something on top of and it couldn't grow. So when the storm came, it just wiped out all that stuff that you thought you needed so badly. But now that seed that's in you has opportunity and chance to do what? Grow. But in order for the seed to grow, you have to be what? Patient. Follow God, walk in faith. I promise you, you're going to make the destination. You're going to get everything he wants you to have. Just be patient. Walk with him. Follow him. Follow him. Take Jesus with you. Follow him. Let him lead. Follow him. You will not fail. You will not fail. Turn to your neighbor and tell your neighbor, you will not fail.